line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. It's upstairs, goes to the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Just like down.
Now,
It's 7 a.m.
it's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico.
For 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
What's the next domino to fall? The one we've been waiting for and watching teeter and teeter and teeter and teeter and kaboom. And here we go. Good morning to you. Happy Thursday. It is the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. How you living?
Haha, what'd it do?
It do quite a bit in college football, and college athletics landscape seems to be shifting once again. As of yesterday, late afternoon, Colorado, by almost every report, returning to the Big 12, leaving the Pac-12 after a vote last night on the presidents of the Big 12. What about the Pac-12 now? This is a big move. I think we've sat here. How many months have we sat around and talked about the longer the Pac-12 television or the media rights deal does not get done, the more squeamish schools are going to get. And I was told by some people on the Pac-12 side, no, everything's fine. They're in unity. They said last week at Media Day, nope, we're fine. Everybody's staying. And the chatter out of Boulder and to the north of us has been, well, Colorado's really considering going back to the Big 12. And yesterday it all broke, and while Colorado hasn't said it officially, everybody but them has said it officially. And so the questions are now what happens. But I think this is a big move. This is the one we've been waiting to see drop, and we've got a lot of conversation to have today on what happens on both sides, the Pac-12 side and the Big 12 side. But this is, I think this is pretty seismic for a school that I don't think is one of the bigger brands, but I think this is a pretty seismic move.
It is a seismic move because it could lead to either a Pac-12 that then begins to look at Mountain West schools to seriously reinforce their brand, or how antsy does everyone else get in the Pac-12? Because Colorado right now, with Deion Sanders at the helm, everyone is going to be watching that football team this year. And they're also capitalizing on that hype to get the Big 12's interest, to rejoin the conference, but it's a conference that looks nothing like the one that they left. But what conference looks anything like the way it did before?
Nothing.
Maybe, the SEC, who knows? Like when you look at conferences that have been there, done that for a while, and what it tells you is over the weekend, as we were all leaving Las Vegas and the Pac-12 was coming in, they did not like what they heard about the future media rights deal. And just because the Pac-12 is labeled as a power conference, it does not look like they're getting power conference money to the dollars that would keep those schools happy.
Well, there's a lot going on here now, and I don't know where this goes. There's one school of thought that says San Diego State steps in and replaces Colorado, and they're fine, and or Colorado State. Okay, I don't know that they believe that. There's a huge concern about further dissension, but the reports this morning are that the interest in Arizona State, Utah by the Big 12 has subsided somewhat. There's also reports this morning that the interest in Oregon and Washington to find a way into the Big 10 has intensified a little bit. So I think this thing is completely thrown up in the air. And if you think it was automatic that the other quote-unquote four corner schools, Arizona State, and Utah, along with Colorado, were going to automatically go to the Big 12. I mean, so the Big 12 right now is at 15, right, with the addition of Colorado. They have made it, I think, pretty clear that they want UConn on Gonzaga, right? Now, does UConn come over with football?
Well, they'll
too?
be at 12, and then they'd go to 13 with Colorado.
Is that what? Okay, 13. Oh, all right. They're
Texas,
they're
no,
right, where they are this year. That's right. 14. So there is room. The Connecticut thing, is that just basketball? Or they bring in football too. I got to believe they'd want to bring football, right? It's not great football, but I think they'd want to bring it. But for the basketball brand, this. I think this throws everything up in the air. And if you're the Pac-12 now, you're scrambling. If you're J.D. Wicker, San Diego State's athletic director, you're like, why didn't you do this 3 weeks ago for crying out loud, right? Or 4 weeks ago, before I had to go through this whole mess. I don't know where I think this goes, but I think this is a move that we've seen happening. So now what? Because I think something's going to happen pretty quickly, don't you?
Yeah, the Pac-12 is just looking at Oregon and Washington. Those are the big brands that's holding the conference together right now.
Well,
and Arizona has the basketball footprint, but we have not heard a lot about Arizona and Arizona State from their end outside of kind of the Big 12.
What are their options?
Yeah,
we don't know anymore what their options are. Now, if you're the Big 12, I think there should be interest, right? To your point, we can get, now we're at what? We're going to be at 13?
Yeah. And
right?
then do you just call Arizona State, Utah? Make it a clean 16?
Let me ask you this. Is San Diego State more valuable to you than one of those brands? If you're the Big 12? Do I need both Arizona schools, or am I good taking Arizona, Utah, and San Diego State?
Because as we've seen, rivalry is just that.
Rivalries don't mean a damn thing.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be in the same conference. You don't have to look out for you. No, they're.
My point being.
So if you put,
do I want to steal that Southern California market away from the Pac-12, and then they got no access to it? I mean, what's a more valuable market brand to you right now? If you said I could have, I want to get to 16, and whatever. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm playing a hypothetical with you. But, all right, so you're taking Colorado, you're at 13 football playing schools. This is before Gonzaga and Connecticut come in. So let's say I want to go 3 more. Utah feels like they've established themselves, certainly football-wise, as a power, right? Do you want that market? I imagine you do, especially with BYU there. You got a great rivalry, right? You've got something really, you own that market. That's pretty good. You want Arizona, I believe, is a bigger brand. Is Arizona a bigger brand to you than Arizona State? They're Tucson, not Phoenix, but it's kind of statewide. Do you want them both? Or do you want to get into the San Diego State game and take Southern California and that market away from the Pac-12 and in essence, cripple the Pac-12?
Southern California would definitely change the Big 12.
It's not L.A.
It's not L.A., but it is California. So I think from a business standpoint, that makes the most sense rather than Arizona and Arizona State.
Where are you with that?
I could see them swapping in the theoretical conversations.
Right.
Arizona State for San Diego State. So you can say, all right, we get Arizona, Utah, SDSU, 16.
I mean, and now you've got your Pacific time zone because Arizona is not Pacific time zone full year, right? You've got your Pacific time zone. You've got your late windows. You got into Southern California, which you're recruiting, which helps all of your schools. You take I mean, I wouldn't say the San Diego State thing is a crippling blow, but if you take all of them, and then the Pac-12 standing there going, what do we do?
Because if Washington and Oregon do get into the Big Ten,
If you're figuring it that way, so now
Like, if that
but they go
starts-
to 18 now. I mean, at what point are we just? Is it too big?
well, at that point, that non-conference matchups don't exist. Like it's going to get to a point where there's no such thing as a non-conference schedule.
Well, yeah, I don't know how. I mean, basically at 18, you're 2 9-team leagues, aren't you? I know you're not going to play. I don't know what you're going to do anymore. Like, I honestly don't know what anything looks like anymore, and anybody who tells you they do is not telling you the truth, right? I just don't know. But what we do know is Colorado seems to be gone, and here we go again. And so what does this mean in this game of Jenga, right? And what does it mean to the Mountain West? All of a sudden, does Colorado State perk their ears up again and say, hey, Pac-12, you need our market. Look at us. Does the Pac-12 go and try to get Colorado State and San Diego State today for not next year, not the year after, but 2 years from now to try to hold themselves together? They still don't have their media rights deal done, and according to Heather Dinich at ESPN, they're not close. This one, there's a lot going on here with this Colorado move that does affect you. Heather Dinich is reporting that the Pac-12 presidents have still not been presented with a media deal. How we're still here is beyond me. They might have been presented with one that meets their standard, but they had to put something together. So we got a lot going here. We're going to get into this. There's so much going on, boys and girls, today. There is so much today. 505-246-0610 is how to get to the Sports Animal. Aaron Rodgers restructured his deal. Does that mean they're going to find a way to sign a particular free agent running back? Ohtani's off the market. We got just balance. Here's your guest list today. 8:30 this morning, Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, is going to be with us. We're going to catch up with Jerry for the first time in months. What does all this mean from his perspective? Looking forward to talk to him. 7:30 this morning, Logan Taylor. You're going to love his story. This young man, his way to get to Hawaii, and he's a dad, and he's a player, and he's a dude, and you're going to really enjoy his story. That's at 7:30 this morning. When we come back, the Angels take Ohtani off the table, and then they go out and get a pitcher. Are they really making this move? They think so. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Makes a little sports analysis, pop culture, and great interviews.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
All right, we got a little bit of a party tomorrow. So tomorrow is the 28th, I believe. Is that right? Tomorrow, the opening drive turns 15 years old. 15 years ago tomorrow, we cracked the mic for the first time on this show. Me and Joe Gonzalez and Skip Lacombe. The original T-shirt. Remember? I think I still have that shirt. So should I wear that shirt tomorrow? Is that should I find that somewhere?
If you can, that'd be awesome.
It's in a drawer somewhere, probably. So we're going to be out at San Diego Golf Club doing the show live out there, and then we got some golf afterwards. So what we're going to do today, we got at least two twosomes to give away to play golf. Is that correct? You're kind of looking at me like neither one of you know. I think we have 2 twosomes to give away to play golf. So here's my intent, and I'll double check on that. At 8, 10, and 9, 10, we'll give away a pair of twosomes. So if you got the day tomorrow, you come out and play golf with us after the show. Come on out. We've got a guest list lined up. Hal Mummy is going to be with us. Hal spent a lot of time on this show, the former Aggie coach. He'll be with us. Richard Pitino said he's going to stop by tomorrow. Nick Neal will be in person. John Traub, the general manager of the Isotopes, will be there. Working on a bunch of other guests. I've got RSVPs from former producers. Hoser's coming by tomorrow. Micah's coming by tomorrow. I think Michael Ann's coming by. We'll also be at Hooters in the afternoon, JJ. So the afternoon show, it's like a station-wide celebration. So Fred and Van will be out at Hooters on San Mateo. Michael Ann's coming by that. I think Julia might be coming by that. So we're lining up, just a bunch of people that have been a big part of the show over the last 15 years. And just I don't know. You guys have been doing local radio for a little while. 15 years is
insane.
Is a minute to be doing a local radio show, right? I calculated it 3,850 shows.
honestly, out there, like Rome is the only one who's been out there longer. 15 is amazing, man. It really is. Like,
I hope we're not done. Like, I hope this isn't to celebrate. Hey, you
like,
guys
oh,
are
by
great.
the
Now
way,
get the hell out.
no, I think we're just halfway there.
I mean, I think that's right. Like, I feel like that's right. I hope this isn't some, hey, yeah, you guys are great now.
Oh, why are all the bosses out here? Oh, what is
Yeah,
this?
wow.
Oh, they're taking our key cards. Okay.
Yeah, you guys are out. But so come on out tomorrow and be a part of the show. We'll have breakfast specials out on the patio at the Sandia Golf Club. All right, the Angels. And by the way, thanks for being with us on The Sports Animal. You're home for local sports talk. You're home for the National Football League. You're home for Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football and Sunday Night Football and everything you're going to do right here on The Sports Animal. Shohei Ohtani is off the trade block. Angels said we're going to win now. The theory is that A, we want to win. B, we want to re-sign Shohei Ohtani, and we don't have a chance to re-sign Shohei if we trade him. He's not coming back, which I think that's right. Now, I don't know that they've got a chance to re-sign him. Maybe they do. Maybe look, they know him better than you do, than I do, than the Dodgers do, than the Yankees do. But they plan to keep him. They're buyers at the trade deadline. They went out and got Lucas Giolito from the White Sox. I wasn't surprised. Were you, either one of you, surprised that the Angels decided to keep him?
No, this is the move. Get all the innings possible you can out of the best player you're ever going to see play for your franchise. Better than Mike Trout. Better than anyone else that could be out on the roster. Better than the 10 top prospects maybe you could have got in return. This is a moment you have to capitalize on right now. And maybe go on a magical run, get in.
You're not that far out. You're, 5-6 games back.
Win a playoff series, and then it does change.
Yep.
For Ohtani. And he's like, I really like these guys. Committed here. Let's go. But even if he does leave, I could not right now just pick up the phone as an owner of that franchise and sign off to, oh, yeah, we just traded Ohtani for 2 All-Stars and 7 prospects. I could not do that. If he leaves as a free agent, so be it. But I am playing to win right now.
I agree with you on that move. Where are you on this?
I'm with JJ on this. I agree that is the move. You don't want to be the guy that trades the greatest player of all time. So I think they did the right thing.
They're in the wild card hunt. Although, I mean, right now, 3 teams get in, and they're 6th. That means they've got to jump 3 teams. Wild card teams right now are Tampa Bay, who, by the way, started out House of Fire, and the Orioles are better. Houston, who's 1 game back of the Rangers, and Toronto. And then Boston, the Yankees, and the Angels are in front of them, and the Mariners and Cleveland are nipping at them. So I think it was the right move. I saw this. Hector Gomez tweeted this yesterday. It's insane to me. So Babe Ruth and Shohei Ohtani in their first 674 games in baseball. Babe Ruth hit 159 home runs. Shohei Ohtani hit 160. Okay, 159, 160. Their win-losses as pitchers in their first 674 games, Babe Ruth was 35-18. Shohei is 35-19. That's both in exactly 455 innings pitched. I mean, the numbers are almost exact. The only difference is Shohei has 1 more home run. I don't know. It's kind of eerie because who's he's been compared to? One dude, right? I haven't heard him compared to Griffey or Bonds or anybody. I've heard him compared to Babe Ruth, right? It's bonkers to me. It is just absolutely insane. But I agree with you guys. I think they made the right move, and they're going to keep Shohei. They're going to be buyers as they go through this, and they're going to figure it out. Dodgers are buyers too. Ahmed Rosario comes over to the Dodgers. The shortstop from Cleveland, Noah Syndergaard, who has been, I mean, did you remember they had Noah Syndergaard? Yeah. Nobody, really? Who knew? So Dodgers made a little bit of a trade too.
He's an offensive upgrade over Miguel Rojas. Fine defensively.
Mm-hmm. So that's where that is. We're going to get into this. What we're going to do also today, and when we join you, after we hear from Logan Taylor, we're going to get into some NFL stuff. Lenny sent me a note on what the Jets are going to do. We're going to get into Aaron Rodgers restructuring his deal, what that means. There's a lot going on there. When we come back, we're going to continue our tour around the Mountain West Conference. And I really believe you're going to like this conversation. Logan Taylor, I don't know, was he one of when we left the first day, the Players' Day, did he leave one of the biggest impressions on you?
Yes, he did. Just perspective. He was honest, open about his decisions, and where he is now in his life.
Yeah, DC, this is one of those dudes that afterwards, like, he came back over and hugged us, like, dude, thanks for that conversation. That was really cool. It was different than everything else. So I think you're going to enjoy this. We're going to do our tour of the Mountain West Conference. Logan Taylor is a linebacker, Southern California kid who's in Hawaii, or as he says, in paradise. You're going to listen to that when we come back. You got an alarm at your business. You got an alarm at your home. You've installed cameras. It's not enough. Aaron Jones started International Protective Service, IPS, to protect your home and your business. Don't wait to be a victim of vandalism and theft. IPS offers standing guards and 24-hour patrols to protect your home, to protect your business. They respond quickly to alarms to prevent loss and damage to your property within 5 to 7 minutes. I've trusted IPS to watch my home for years. I strongly suggest you give them a call again. Private security, it can save you money, and it's affordable. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. IPS, making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Your surprisingly great race, Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
He is on the Lobos football schedule. They'll be here in October. They also play the Aggies. Aggies will be out there. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. DC will take your calls at 505-246-0610. All right, so we had some good conversations last week. Really, really good ones. And met some student athletes who were really impressive. This young man's been through – this wasn't the easy path. This wasn't the 5-star, let's go. This is a guy who – man, I'm appreciative of what I got. His name is Logan Taylor. He's a linebacker from Southern California living in Hawaii, or what he calls paradise. Here's our conversation with Logan Taylor.
Yes, they do play defense on the islands, no matter if their head coach is a legendary quarterback and everybody thinks they just flip it around. Logan Taylor is a linebacker at Hawaii. Am I saying it right? Did you learn how to say it?
Yeah, Hawaii. Yeah.
Hawaii.
Yeah, there you go.
He's a Southern California kid from Narbonne High School. So when they recruited you, how'd you pronounce it, and how do you pronounce it now?
It was Hawaii back then.
Hawaii, right?
Okay. But it's really pronounced Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
How you liking Hawaii?
I love it.
It's tough not to.
It's that's really what that's really what I call home now. That's where I'm raising my children at the moment. It's an absolute blessing to live in paradise, right? And I can't tell you enough of how many good things have come out from me coming to this island.
It's beautiful.
It's absolutely
good.
Beautiful.
Have you grown as a football player? Because you go out there, a junior college kid, Southern California kid, and just keep getting better. And they need defense out there now. They need to be able to make some stops. So talk about being a football player and playing defense at Hawaii.
Well, we love it, right? Because we are the pro team out there, right? And like our little motto is, defend Hawaii. We're defend the rock. We're the last stand. And man, we pride ourselves on defense. We pride ourselves on being hard nosed, tough. We never will quit. And like you said, with Coach Chang coming here, he's bringing in the explosive offense that he's implemented with the run and shoot. And like you said, the defense has got to step up, and that's absolutely what we are planning to do. So
you guys were winning games, Logan. Logan Taylor's linebacker at Hawaii, and you were winning games, and it went the other way for a year or two. Why is it going to turn around? Why is Coach Chang the right guy to do it? And is this the right group? Because you look at the polls and look, somebody's got to be at the top, somebody's got to be at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. When it's all said and done, why is it going to be different?
Well, it's going to be first of all, talking about Coach Chang. Coach Chang is the man with the plan, right? And he's the man for Hawaii. And since he's come in, football's fun for us. We had a rough little time, but football's fun again for us. And we have true joy out there playing, and the way that he has implemented the culture, right? Some things that some of us didn't even understand, even though we were out there. So the stuff that he has implemented, right? The culture, the brotherhood, right? We are the most diverse team in America, and the unity that comes out of that, right? That hey, we on this rock and we stuck together, whether we like it or not, right? And we better get to know each other, right? And the way that the chemistry and the unity has come from his first year to now is night and day. And the comfort we have in the schemes we're running now, that we're comfortable in it. And the new guys coming in, the leaders who've played already are able to pass down that wisdom, so it's easier for them to pick it up or whatnot. And man, we're expecting to win games this year because it's the little things, right? We one play away, two play away, and we're gonna focus on doing it for one another, right? Focus on the little things. We felt what it felt like, and we know how we prepared last year, so we got to take it to another level.
Logan Taylor, a.k.a. Spiff, Hawaii linebacker with us. Is there anything behind that nickname?
No, that was just something that – no, that was just something that they called me back in middle school, and it was my username since then. I just never changed it, and that they just call me that nowadays, Spiff. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned football is fun. When you were El Camino College, where were you? Like just your mind. Like what were you trying to accomplish? What was your next step?
So my first year, freshman year, started at Southern Utah. Played there, ended up bouncing back just because I didn't enjoy my time there, and I was kind of immature at the time too, and I was just looking for something better, thinking the grass is greener, and thinking I'm gonna get picked up in the transfer portal. Ended up having to go JUCO. I had to take a bet on myself, and I want to prove people wrong, and because a lot of people were like, "Oh, you shouldn't have did that. You had a good thing going. Why'd you?" And I was trying to prove people wrong, and prove to myself that I could do it. And it was by the grace of God that I came to Hawaii, because my big thing was I need to go somewhere where I enjoy the environment. I enjoy the place that I live. That's what my big thing was. And when Hawaii came on the table and offered, it was like, okay, well, this is a sign, right? Why not go live in paradise? And I had a good connection with the coach who recruited me. It was Coach Abe, and ended up just thinking like, I really didn't have nothing. I was just like, hey, this is where I'm gonna go. Wasn't expecting, I have like, oh, I want to go start. I want to go do these things. But what I've experienced, I never could imagine. And man, I'm grateful for how the journey took place.
Well, part of that experience, also off the field now, 2 sons. What have they brought to your life, and how's that trying to change your perspective on everything?
Oh man, it's changed so much. It has changed so much in me. I'm not just providing for myself anymore, and I found my faith out in Hawaii, and having children now is made me that they rely on me, right? I have to. It's not just about me no more, and the maturity that comes with that, right? I'm a family man now. I done lived my life. Now it's time to give back, and just be an example. Like, well, I need to be the standard on the field, but that standard has to be the same in the household, right? I'm the leader of the household. I'm the one that who they're gonna see, how to love their wife eventually, how to become a man that has integrity, who is respectable, all these things, and it's changed I can't even say how many things that it's done for me, just having them kids, and it's the greatest gift I've ever received.
He's Logan Taylor, the linebacker at Hawaii, and your story is so compelling in so many ways. First of all, I want to go back to the transfer portal thing, because people think, oh, these guys can go anywhere and they go in the portal and they can do whatever they want. There's also the consequence, and we tell the story all the time. We just tell the numbers. We don't tell the story. We tell the numbers. Well, there's X number of guys who don't find a spot, and you're that guy. When the reality hit there, what was that like? Because there had to be some soul searching. Obviously, you went to JUCO and ended up in a good spot, and it ended well. But your story is more common than people understand.
Yeah. So, the transfer portal, it's you got to take it with a grain of salt, right? It could be a blessing, it could be a curse, and that's why if I was giving advice, I would say, weigh your options, right? I mean, everyone can bet on themselves, but you gotta know what's best for yourself, and man, it's sometimes you can get lost, and the best part about it is, like, for me, I didn't know it at the time, but it's like, God has a plan, right? And there's no point understanding it because you can't understand it, right. So if that's what the way he wanted me to go, it was part of the plan, and we can see how it turned out now.
I want to hit on this too, because it's not all paradise right now. The facilities, Aloha Stadium. In fact, it was when you guys were in Frisco at the New Mexico Bowl in 2020. It was when then athletic director David Matlin got word that their home stadium was condemned. You couldn't play in it anymore. So you got a small complex on campus has now been built up to 9,000 seats. But you guys have been making do more with little than almost anybody in America.
Oh, absolutely. And it's all about perspective, right? And like that's just it's something about Hawaii as well, that people may come from other places and be like, oh wait, what, this is what we got, or this, oh, we don't. For a moment we didn't have protein shakes, we didn't have food coming our way, but it's all about perspective. We all came here to play ball. We all have a dream. We all have goals, and you can look at it either way. The little complex, I'm more grateful for the conference than anything. I mean, we get to come out of our locker room. We get to have our training room right there. there's less stands. It's going to be packed. It's whatever it is. It's two ways.
Perspective.
Yeah,
You
two
want
ways
to look at
at
the
it.
negative. You want to look at the positive.
Absolutely.
Which way you want to take it?
That's
And you guys
absolutely.
obviously looked at it the right way. Appreciate the conversation, man. Your story's compelling. It's inspirational, but more than anything, enjoy those two boys, man. Being
Absolutely.
a daddy's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Good luck this year. Appreciate you, Logan.
Appreciate you.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New
Enjoyed
Mexico.
Logan Taylor. Just some of these. You and I sat down with these young men and didn't know much about them. We had a note or two, but getting to look these guys in the eye and hear their stories, and that young man being a dad, and one of the biggest things that came out of Logan Taylor's story. And JJ, I don't know if you felt this, and maybe DC, if you heard this. We've talked on this show about the transfer portal a zillion times, and I gave you a stat at one point when I came back from the bowl season meetings that somewhere in the area of 30% of the players in transfer portal transfer to a lower level, and like 30% don't find a home. Right, but we never talked to the guys who don't find a place. Logan Taylor was one of those guys. He was in the transfer portal and did not get a scholarship offer and went to JUCO. And he worked his way back up, and now he's in Hawaii. But we don't ever hear that story.
It's not an instant upgrade, but if you talk to Logan Taylor, as we did, he wouldn't change it.
No.
Southern Utah wasn't for him.
Okay. And that's cool. You've been there.
Yeah. Cedar City, Utah is not for everybody.
Yeah.
And so while the decision wasn't an instant upgrade right away, for him, JUCO was on a refocusing moment. JUCO will open your eyes because you do not have the same things available that you do at a D1 level. But then he finds himself in a fantastic position at Hawaii.
And appreciates what he's got, even though they don't have protein shakes at time and some snacks, right?
I will say that was an amazing interview. Of all these, and they have been very good, but that one really stood out when he said sometimes you get lost in the portal. Just the emotion behind his voice, like that's a powerful statement.
Yeah, if you'd have seen the young man, this dude, like I said earlier, this is the guy who came back afterwards and kind of gave us that bro hug and like, man, guys, thanks again for that. That was really cool. And that's not happening.
Dude, the dude gonna be pretty cool when his kids are named Kobe and Vader.
Kobe and Vader.
Those are his boys' names.
And he pulled it off.
That is awesome.
Isn't that great?
Vader? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about it afterwards. We ran out of time on it, but it's like, how cool is that?
I like that kid. I'm rooting for him for sure. And when he was talking about his kids and how it made him grow up and everything, like I was getting the feelings back here, man. That was really cool.
It's amazing how many of these young men are parents, right? You're going to hear a number of them, not just the Utah State kids like you would think.
Well, these a lot of 5th, 6th year guys.
Yeah,
with the extra year eligibility, or they had a redshirt season in there. And their life is not just football.
No, there's good stories there, man. And, you'll notice as we go through this, we talk very little football, very little X's and O's. And some of you will like that. I think a few of you will say, well, how come you didn't tell me about the culture and the 3-4 defense? And okay, we'll get there. All right, let me give you a little bit about culture of the New York Jets. It sounds like it's good there right now. Aaron Rodgers reworked this deal. It was announced yesterday that I'm not going to get into all the logistics. Aaron's going to be fine. Okay, Aaron's going to be able to eat. If he has kids, he's going to be able to send them to private school, and they're going to be able to go on vacation. And Aaron's going to be just fine. Darkness retreats if he wants, whatever he wants. But his deal is still 2 years for $75 million, and there's options on it. But what he did is free up some cap space for the New York Football Jets. And Aaron's living in Loveland right now. right? And Lenny sent me a text early. Lenny is a contributor to our show through the call and the text line. He says, thanks to Rodgers taking a $35 million pay cut, I bet Dalvin Cook signs with the Jets 2 to 3 years with $12 million guaranteed. They're not going to let him leave to join his brother with the Bills. Now they got Breece Hall recovering from the ACL, and he might be suspended for the off-field incident. Dalvin Cook to the Jets makes sense to you? Does that all of a sudden make you ring the bell a little differently in that division?
No, I think they'll will be good with or without Dalvin Cook.
Okay, but
like I don't think that signing Dalvin Cook would make me pick them over Buffalo.
Okay, would it make you? Because I'm right on the edge with them in Miami. Would it give you the edge over Miami with them?
Man, that one's
all right. So no, you're still on the edge.
I think Dalvin Cook is a good player.
Okay,
but I don't see Dalvin Cook being worth 1 or 2 wins if you're saying it's a coin flip between him.
I kind of do.
Jets and
I kind of do. I think I would push them over the top. You?
I would take the Jets to
with
win
Dalvin
the East
Cook
with Dalvin Cook
because you'd have Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall.
And let's not forget Garrett Wilson.
I think Garrett Wilson's a stud. I think he's phenomenal.
The guy got 1,100 yards with Mike White throwing to him.
That's right.
And
Zach
Wilson. Yeah, that guy is a stud. You're right. I think Cook puts him over the top.
Yeah, I do too. I think that would sway me. Talk football on the Sports Animal. Your home.
So running backs do matter.
I just got a text from Ralph, and I responded with a one-word answer. Ralph says Daniel Jones is worth $40 million a year and Barkley $11 million? ? And I sent a one-word answer. Yes. I mean, yes. I don't know. You tell me. Are you hurt more if Daniel Jones goes down or if Saquon Barkley goes down? If you're the Jets, are you hurt more if Saquon Barkley gets hurt or if Daniel Jones gets hurt? I think it's a pretty easy answer. As good as Saquon Barkley is, the answer is your quarterback. The answer is you're going to Tyrod Taylor or Matt Breida. Bigger drop-off. Now, you may argue the drop-off to Tyrod might be a step up. Some of you don't like Daniel Jones. But, yeah, the answer is yes.
Matt Breida is a good running back, so that it is a drop-off, but it's not.
Matt Breida played college football where?
Georgia Southern?
That's correct. The only reason I know that, it was one of the last games I called on Aggie Vision, and he was in the backfield with a guy named Ramsby, and I called him a battering Ramsby in the Georgia Southern chat room like that. Younghoe Koo was on that team too. Huh?
Oh, the loaded Georgia Southern team.
They came in and rolled the Aggies. I think they rolled the Aggies. I'm trying to remember. I just remember that game being delayed because their bus was late getting there because there was like a storm coming over from El Paso. But yeah, Georgia Southern is where he was. All right, so that was a big deal in the NFL. Were you surprised that Rodgers? Let me ask you this: have you been surprised by Aaron? And this is why I think Hard Knocks is going to be so good. But Aaron Rodgers' apparent transformation and attitude, this whole I love where I am, this new life, this new beginning, everything is euphoria, everything's great, I'm out of the darkness, I love my team so much, I'm cutting my salary by $35 million, I just love it here. Like, are you surprised by the new Aaron Rodgers?
Well,
because I am.
Was he getting the $35 million roster bonus either way, or did they just convert his pay cut into that roster bonus that he did not take a $35 million pay cut?
Let's be very clear. He
did not just give up $35 million.
He's going to get a $35 million roster bonus in 4 days. In 4 days, here's $35 million. All right, but his salary is $1.8 million. So, and next year's salary is $38.2.
So now, these are the things you can do when people say, "How do they do it? How do you pay?" And just convert it to a roster bonus. Convert it to a signing bonus.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into the whole deal, but basically he restructured his deal, and there's option years on it, and he can. I mean, look again. Aaron's going to get
because the headline makes him sound like the best dude ever.
Oh, what a great dude ever!
Oh, he's all about winning now.
Yeah. But his attitude is like, no, I'm willing to do whatever it takes, And I'm not sure that was the Aaron Rodgers that you got the last 2 years in Green Bay. You know, the Aaron Rodgers the last few years in Green Bay was he didn't want to go work out with his young receivers.
Everyone needs a wake up call, and I think when Aaron Rodgers walked out of that cave, And the Green Bay Packers said, "Dude, we're
shape.
not bending over backwards for it anymore."
Yeah.
And he wasn't in total control. Shook him up a little bit.
I think there's less gray in his beard too. Don't you? Like a little, just for men.
And so you get the Aaron Rodgers with the better attitude, but the better attitude also stems from him wanting to show everyone who he still is.
What happens when they start out 1-3? Just asking. When they lose to the Bills, the Cowboys, and the Chiefs and beat the Patriots. Then what Aaron Rodgers do we have? Yeah, it's on the road.
How are they going to get to 12-5 then?
It's a road game. Then what happens? Then what Aaron Rodgers do we have? Then has the New York media, Joe and Vinny from the Post and WFAN calling Aaron Rodgers is a bum. They gave him all this damn money. He can't even throw the ball. Garrett Wilson was wide open. He can't even look at him. He overthrows him. Hit the other guy right in the chest. If it was an arrow, it would have killed him. Then what happens when Vinny from the Bronx gets upset? Just asking. 505-246-0610. Looking forward to catching up with our good friend Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. Coming up at 8:30, we'll get his perspective. What's next for the Pac-12 and the Big 12? What does he know after Colorado is now moving from the Pac-12 to the Big 12? What is next? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610. The Sports Animal!
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com.
I'm New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bond.
Shohei's going to stay an Angel. The Buffaloes are not staying. They're going to the Big 12. Aaron's theoretically giving back some money because he's just such a good dude. What up? And happy Thursday. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck in D.C. Celebration week around here a little bit, or at least a little celebration tomorrow. If you're around tomorrow or want to reroute your work commute, come on by the San Diego Golf Club tomorrow. We're going to be out on the patio at San Diego Golf Club. It's not very often we get to take our show remote. There's not a whole lot open in the morning, but tomorrow is 15 years since we cracked the microphone for the first time here on this radio station with this show. It was me and Joe Gonzalez and Skip Lacombe, and Joe's going to be out at Hooters tomorrow. We'll be out celebrating with the boys at Hooters on the afternoon show tomorrow afternoon, and invite you to come by that show as well. But JJ, you've been doing this since what year did you tell me? 2010?
It's 11, 12 years.
Yeah, yeah. So you've been 11, 12 years, and we've been doing this show 15 years. We're going to do a little celebration tomorrow. Scheduled guest list tomorrow. We're bringing back one of our favorites from back in the day. Hal Mummy's going to be with us, a former Aggie coach. Maybe you could talk about the grass, the difference in the grass, Bermuda grass to this grass. But looking forward to catching up with Hal, who's been doing so many different things in the world of football. Richard Pitino scheduled to stop by at 8 o'clock. We'll have Nick Nee live, Mario Mocha at 9:15. John Traub, the general manager of the Isotopes, going to be by at 9:30. Eddie Nunes is going to try to stop by. A bunch of you are going to come by, I hope. Michael Ann and Joe Gonzalez, former producers who used to sit in your seat in D.C. They'll be at the Hooters show. Hoser is coming by in the morning. Micah is coming by in the morning. And I think we're going to have breakfast burrito specials out there. So come by, say hello. And then we got golf. And I think we got some golf to give away. I just got a little confirmation on that. Not sure. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I got to force them to give away to listeners. So we're going to pair two of you up. Because it's the day before, it's going to be hard for you to get 4 golfers for tomorrow. So at 8:10 and at 9:10 today, we're going to give away 2 golf spots. So if you can play golf tomorrow at San Diego Golf Club at 10, right after our show, if you got you and somebody else, and we'll pair you up with another 2 listeners, we're going to do that coming up at 8:10 and 9:10. We'll give those away. So stay tuned and be part of the Sports Animals golf outing tomorrow out at San Diego Golf Club. Is that fair? We're playing together, right? We're all playing?
Someone's playing golf.
All right. Am I playing
People
golf?
are playing golf.
Am I playing golf tomorrow? I know the boss has a foursome. I already got his foursome set up, so I know they're playing. So come on out tomorrow, be part of what we're doing, and celebrate. I don't know, man. 15 years. I haven't done a lot of things for 15 years. Yeah. Not a lot of things I've done for 15 years.
School?
That's kind of funny. You mean like college?
For some of us.
That was only 5, dude.
I think it's been about, honestly, looking back, trying to piece it together.
Yeah.
About 13 years.
You've been doing this 13 years. Yeah.
That's in.
You know, JJ and I worked together well before that.
I've heard, yes.
Yeah, back at we were in a closet down by Super Salad. We did a little afternoon show in a room with like office dividers with for the studio, and you'd hear the phone ringing in the background. It was beautiful. All right,
JJ, were you producing that one?
I was still in high school, senior in high school. Love sports talk radio. They're like, yeah, we're looking for interns. So I was dumb enough to call up and do it, and now here I am.
It's all these years later, and now he's the voice of Lady Lobos and a bunch of stuff over at UNM.
That's kind of cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. All right, 505-246-0610. If you want to get in on the show today here on The Sports Animal, we're going to talk to Jerry Palm from CBS Sports coming up at 8:30 on one of the big stories. And one of the big stories today, and it kind of broke yesterday, but it's still today because I think this is going to play out, is Colorado leaving the Pac-12 and going to the Big 12. And what does it mean now for not only the Big 12, but what does it mean for the Pac-12? And your league, the Mountain West, is probably, well, I mean, I don't know. I say probably because I believe at some point there's an effect, whether it's a positive or more likely a defection. But if you're the Pac-12, don't you immediately look at San Diego State and say, all right, I know you can't get out for 2 years, but you want to come in?
Yeah, you are in scramble mode. I think you've been stuck in scramble mode.
Well, but now you're it's been accelerated, right? You've been in scramble mode because you don't have a TV deal, you don't have a media rights deal after this year. I heard somebody talking the other day. Oh, the season starts in 4 weeks. How do they not have a deal? No, they have a deal for this year. we're not 4 weeks out, and they have nowhere for their games to be. We're talking about the years after. Does the Big 12 eye San Diego State? Is San Diego State more valuable than the Big 12? Let's say they want to go to 16, and they want the four corner schools, and they say Utah, Arizona, and Arizona State. Or, well, if we get Arizona, we get Arizona, but do we want to get into Southern California and usurp that from, keep that away from the Pac-12 and get into the Pacific time zone?
Yes.
So you think San Diego State's more valuable than Arizona State right now?
Right now, I would.
It's interesting.
Say yes.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been reading a bunch on that too.
And it's also.
But if you're the Pac-12, don't you make the call right now?
Pac-12's calling. I'm sure San Diego State's lobbing the text to everyone, be like, "Yeah, I'm sitting by the phone. If you want to give us a call, have a conversation." Either the Big 12 or Pac-12. Because if I'm San Diego State, do you want to answer the phone from the Big 12 or Pac-12 first right now?
I'm answering who's calling right now. I'm answering who's calling. What's more secure to you right now? Is the Pac-12 or the Big 12 more secure to you? I mean, honestly, I think the Big 12 is going to be here in 2 years, and I don't know that the Pac-12 is. If you ask me, are they both going to be there? I would say yes in some form, but I would be way more comfortable betting that the Big 12 is going to be there.
When we were in Las Vegas for Mountain West Football Media Days,
yeah,
they have all the rooms, and they have a CBS Sports room.
Yep.
They have a Fox Sports room. How much do you think those guys like the Mountain West?
CBS
and Fox.
How much do they like it?
Mm-hmm. Do they like it enough to maybe look at a future where the Mountain West or Pac-12, we get a super conference, merge them together, and then they have all those properties?
I think they like the league because it gives them good product. I don't know that they love it to the point where they...
Like if
I'm not trying to quantify it.
Let's say if Oregon and Washington do go to the Big Ten,
yeah,
and maybe Arizona and San Diego State are picked off. If you're CBS and Fox Sports, do you look at those?
So
properties?
now you're saying I got Stanford, Cal, Oregon State, Washington State. Is Utah still part of this? Maybe, and whatever's left. So
does that become a benefit for you to just pretty much control?
Let me ask you this:
the Western United States.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. Now it's not as valuable as any of those other properties. Are you concerned if you are New Mexico, Nevada, Wyoming, Hawaii, San Jose State, Utah State, the teams that are not mentioned ever in regards to Pac-12 expansion? I just read you an article earlier where, with the Pac-12 say, well, let's gather up everything. Let's gather Fresno State because of the market, and Colorado State because of the market, and UNLV because they're emerging, and Boise State because of football. And I read you, San Diego State. Are you concerned if you are New Mexico, Nevada, Utah State, San Jose State, those schools who are never mentioned in any of this expansion, if they gobble up all that for the Mountain West, and I'm going extremely the other way now, right? Because I think everything's on the table right now, don't you?
Are you concerned? Yes, but are you really when it's all said and done, going to be losing that much if you just end up being a Mountain West?
At that point, are you joining Conference USA or the American?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are you just kind of where you were, just under a different umbrella in terms of your media right deal and money and everything?
I mean, you're kind of concerned, aren't you? Because this whole thing could blow up now. Now, it could not. It could not. But the Colorado domino is significant. We're going to hear from Jerry Palm coming up at 8:30. I'm really, really curious as to where he sees all this going. He's a Big Ten guy, right? What's he hearing from where he sits on his national perch? That's coming up at 8:30 this morning, and looking forward to asking him, what's next? What does the Big 12 do? What does the Pac-12 do? What is next? When we come back, you have an owner in the NFL talking about running backs and calling what they are doing inappropriate. Do you believe it's inappropriate, or do you believe the owner is inappropriate? We're going to go there. All right, let's give away a twosome to play golf tomorrow. All right, if you can play golf tomorrow, okay? If you got two people, these sports animals going to do our 15th anniversary show out at Sandia Golf Club, okay? We got two spots for you. We're going to pair you with two other listeners, so we're going to give away those at 9:10. But if you got time and you can do it, hold up some numbers. Caller number what? What number you want, DC? Caller number 2. All right, we'll do that because we're giving away 2. Caller number 2 at 505-246-0610 if you want to play golf with these sports animal tomorrow at the beautiful Sandia Golf Club. Be caller number 2 right now at 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sound of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Industries is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
I asked the question, is this really a problem? Is it really a problem that running backs are paid higher only than, on an average, than kickers and punters? Is it a problem? The answer is no. It's a problem for one group of people, and that's running backs, right?
The answer is yes. If you're telling me that you think Dalvin Cook sways the balance of a division, then they are undervalued when it comes to their paycheck.
Undervalued is very different than is it a problem?
Well, it's not a problem for the people that are paying them.
It's not a problem for anybody but running backs. The only people it's a problem for is the people who are affected, right? It's not a problem. But it's a problem for them, and they're very vocal. Now, can you say it's not fair? Can you say it's skewed? Can you say it's wrong? Can you say, I mean,
it is wild that players, that there are games that outside of the center and quarterback, the player that you asked to do the most on your offense is the one that you were able to get at the absolute
lowest
best value on the dollar.
No doubt. But it's a problem only for the people who are on the receiving end of it. It's not a problem for the owners. The owners got it figured out. The GM's got it figured out.
They love it.
They've solved their problem. No, it's only a problem, right? This was a conversation you and I had the other day. For whom is it a problem? It's not a problem for me. Not a problem. It's not a problem for the NFL. Now, are they vocal about it? The running backs? Sure. But there's at least one owner in the National Football League who's not interested in rethinking the NFL's approach to handling running backs, even though the elite running backs are protesting. Jim Irsay is the Colts owner. And he's replied to suggestions that the NFL needs to reshape its approach to franchise tags. Quote, "We have negotiated the CBA that took years of effort and hard work and compromise and good faith by both sides. To say now that a specific player category wants another negotiation after the fact is inappropriate. Some agents are selling bad faith," end quote. And as wrong as it may sound, he's right. As wrong as it may sound, he is right. Look, is the franchise tag, was it designed with quarterbacks in mind? Sure it was. Is this a probably unintended, I don't even want to say consequence, but unintended result of the CBA and the franchise tag? It may be. But this is one group of people who are upset that they're only making $8, $9, $10, $12 million, as opposed to, and look, the text I got from Ralph earlier isn't wrong when he says Daniel Jones worth $40 million and Saquon's only worth $11 million. I mean, is there really a $29 million gap between the value of Daniel Jones? Even if you think Daniel Jones is worth more, there's not. I agree with you that they are underpaid. But is it a problem?
Yes, it is.
For whom?
for the players.
For that one player group. Yeah.
But it's something that could happen to any position group in the NFL. And I don't think it's inappropriate for those guys to be able to have the discussion.
Okay.
Jim Irsay is also an owner that is looking at a running back that he's going to underpay in Jonathan Taylor.
Any day now.
And that's his stance.
Yep.
And that's where he's coming from. It's not inappropriate because guess what? Saquon Barkley signed his franchise tag, and the New York Giants got a sweetheart deal on their star offensive player.
So do you believe it's worth reopening the CBA?
They're not going to do that.
Obviously not.
But the running backs getting together, having a conversation of, hey, what should we do in the future? What kind of deals can we take to benefit everyone? That's not inappropriate.
Okay.
It's just business. And Jim Irsay should understand that. But that's also why he is taking this stance of trying to call them out.
I'll give in on that the word inappropriate might not be the right word, but the context of what he's saying, I don't believe is wrong.
They have a CBA and it's not going anywhere.
And both sides worked on the CBA. This is ownership and player representation. That when we get to the next one, and I know the running back group and the running backs on the leadership group of the Players Association will be very vocal in regards to getting rid of the franchise tag as it's currently constructed. Running backs who are signed a franchise tag this year are slotted to $10.091 million. Context: quarterbacks, cornerbacks, wide receivers, offensive and defensive linemen, and linebackers are all worth more than $18 million. Only kickers and punters at $5.39 million receive less. Owners, according to Irsay, would be unlikely to engage in a conversation because the franchise tag has been very beneficial to the clubs. Now, when we get to the next negotiation, they'll have this conversation. But to your point, Jonathan Taylor's coming up, and he's going to have to make a decision on Jonathan Taylor, and he's going to get a sweetheart deal on him. So
it's one that you can see all sides of this story. Like from a running back perspective, it makes zero sense. With the numbers you put up, what you're asked to do, that good performance devalues you because they say, well, we've already used you up. Mm-hmm. And then from the NFL standpoint, you're looking at it going, yeah, we'd love if we have one of these guys. But to us, it's more about the run game, not necessarily the running back. And so this is one where two things are true.
Yeah, that's right.
I absolutely understand running backs who are carrying the football 350 times. They're getting double-digit touchdowns per season.
Yep.
A lot more that are catching the football out of the backfield in the offense.
Yep.
And they're like, yeah, you're only worth $10 million, but we're going to give this wide receiver $24 million.
You're a GM. Are you doing it any differently?
No. The front offices are playing the game the right way.
They figured something
because
out.
they figured something out.
Yeah.
But I just from a player standpoint, I absolutely understand why they're having these discussions, because even if it's only a handful that get the big deals, it's the trickle down effect. That's how franchise tag goes from $10 million a year to $12 million.
Could you do the same thing with receivers? If you were a GM, can you say, you know what? I got a really good receiver on a rookie deal. I'll franchise him, and then I'm going to let him go and go get another one. I mean, do you think receivers? I think what they found out are running backs are relatively interchangeable. Now, you get a really good one like Taylor, Barkley, Henry, right? Maybe Chubb. They're, but I look at everybody else, and numbers don't lie, man. The fact that the leading rusher does not correspond to making the playoffs, let alone getting the Super Bowl. When you look at the leading rusher on Super Bowl teams over the last decade and a half, you're astonished that there's like one, right? And so the math plays out. I don't know. I could probably try to play it with receivers as well and think I could get a look. There's big, tall, good receivers coming out of college every year. There's a Garrett Wilson every year, and there's a Rashee Rice every year, and there's a Romeo Doubs in the 5th round every year. Can I find those guys? Can I turn them into something? I mean, you could try that, right? So, all right, when we come back, we're talking college football, and Jerry Palm from CBS Sports is going to be with us. He is one of their gurus over there. been a long time since we caught up with Jerry, and I'm looking forward to having the conversation with him. Colorado's going to the Big 12, and we will talk to him about what is next in regards to conference alignment, what it means for the Big 12, the Pac-12, the Mountain West. Jerry Palm is next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
ATAR and gravel.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
Golf Club tomorrow. We'll be on the patio out at San Diego Golf Club. Breakfast specials. We can play a little golf afterwards. We'll announce the winners here in a bit. The foursome of listeners that's going to get to play golf with us as we celebrate 15 years of the opening drive. 15 years ago tomorrow, we cracked the microphone for the first time on this show. And one of the constants over 15 years and before that, JJ, back when you and I were doing that afternoon show in the closet over by Super Salad, Jerry Palm, at the time he had his own website. I think, what was it called? BCS... He'll know. It was, yes. But he had another website. Now he's like the big star over at CBS Sports. But he's been with us, every football and basketball season for all 15 years. We've been on the show, and hopefully for many more, from CBS Sports and CBSSports.com. Jerry Palm joins us. It's been too long, my friend. How you living?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We're good, thank you. What was your other website when you used to come on the show with us?
I had collegerpi.com for basketball and collegebcs.com for football before CBS.
Yeah, that's
essentially bought me out.
And somewhere we found you way back in the day, and you've been stuck with us for all these years. It's kind of good we caught you today, because I think the Colorado thing, while the brand, the program, I don't know that I think Colorado is a seismic program. I think this move to the Big 12 could be seismic for the construction of conferences in the Western United States. Do you disagree with that?
Yeah, no question. Yeah, it will be surprising if it's the only one, because, teams tend to move in pairs, and conferences like to have even numbers. It could be the only one. This is a result of essentially going to a stable place versus a place they don't know about. The Pac-12, can't put a media rights deal together in at least a year time, and still has no definite timetable for something. And there's an end date, because the current deal expires at, I believe, the end of this season. So there is an end date where it's got to get done, but there's no sense of urgency, and Colorado went back to a place where they are comfortable.
So what's next?
15 of them if they don't take someone else.
Yeah. So what's next? We've been having this conversation. There's been all the talk with Utah and Arizona State. I asked the question this morning: if you're the Big 12, do you want Arizona, Utah, and San Diego State instead of Arizona State, just to take it away from the Pac-12, get into Southern California? Is San Diego State more valuable? Like, what are you doing if you're the Big 12? And if you're the Pac-12, aren't you calling San Diego State today and saying, "Hey, you're in. You want in? Let's go."
Well, they've probably already heard that, but you have to wait until we get our deal done. I don't know. They seem pretty intent on waiting until their deal's done before they expand.
Yeah,
but what it might mean then is that they either start looking for 3, unless someone else leaves, or maybe San Diego State's the only one, and they don't go after SMU. Because, that was always the thought, is that San Diego State and SMU would replace the LA schools. Well, maybe you still want both. But, do you want to be the Pac-11? I don't know. They won't change their name probably.
But then there's the Oregon-Washington piece, because you're in Big Ten territory.
I don't think the Big Ten's ever going to take Oregon and Washington.
Not even at a reduced payout?
Maybe, but I don't think – I shouldn't say never, because with realignment, who knows? Right. But they don't have the value that the LA schools have, and I don't know if they're going to go at a reduced payout unless they're just, looking for a lifeline.
Man, I think that might be. I literally
but
think that might be.
the Big 12, I can't imagine that they're done. And Utah would be the most logical one. I don't know how Utah feels about, scrambling away. But the Pac-12 instability or perceived instability and their delay in getting this media rights deal done has got to be a big reason why Colorado's like, you know what, I'm not waiting around anymore. Time to go.
Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, is with us on the Sports Animal this morning.
Jerry, of course, we know at the forefront of this, it is the money that the schools are going to be able to get from their TV deals. But just from a playing standpoint, when you look ahead 2 years to the expanded college football playoff, is that kind of lessen the blow for these teams in the super conferences?
Well, I don't know that Colorado is building, so the playoff, I don't know how important that is to them in terms of this move. It's probably going to be harder to get into the playoff in the new Big 12 than it would have been in the old, after UCLA and USC leave. But it's, but the playoff money is certainly a factor in what's going on here. There's certainly, access to what's going to be a bigger payout for some of these leagues, especially as they get now multiple teams into a playoff. There's certainly some incentive there for that. But the money's going to be better in the Big 12 than the Pac-12, regardless.
Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, joining us here on The Sports Animal. Now, when you look at the size of these conferences, they're debating now how many conference games they should have. What are they going to do? What does the future of non-conference college football look like, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, I don't know that it's going to change too much. You still need non-conference games. You don't want to go and play only conference games because you want to have a way to sort things out early in the season before you run into the teams you play all the time. So I think there'll always be non-conference games. You're just going to see fewer of your actual conference foes because you have more of them, but you're still going to have the same number of conference games.
How should you feel if you are? I'm looking at the Mountain West real quick, and I think there's 2 groups of schools, right? There's 3. There's San Diego State is one of them. Then there's Colorado State, Fresno State, Boise State, and UNLV, who are sometimes thrown into some stories. Well, they could do this. And then there's schools like New Mexico, Nevada, Wyoming, San Jose State, Hawaii, Utah State, who are never mentioned in some of these expansion.
Right.
So yep. How do you feel if you're all of these schools sitting in the Mountain West?
Well, I mean, it could certainly be, something, especially I think Vegas, UNLV, could be attractive to someone like the Pac-12. I mean, they do business in Vegas now anyway. A lot of these conferences do. But, that's a growing market. So having a school like UNLV in the Pac-12 is certainly a reasonable possibility. And I could see Colorado State, San Diego State seems to be a given. So if they're looking to expand more, if they need someone besides San Diego State and SMU, I could see UNLV being at the top of that list, but also Colorado State would be reasonably attractive. To keep a footprint in that state.
The other I don't know, option or alternative or scenario is what happens if, and I know you don't think this is, but what if Arizona State, Utah go Big 12, and Washington and Oregon do go to the Big Ten. So you're left with the Bay Area schools, Oregon State, Washington State. Does that all fold into a Mountain West umbrella? I mean, then what happens there?
It becomes the Mountain Pack, basically. There wouldn't be enough really of either of them and home type stuff like this. It's, as opposed to playing on a neutral floor somewhere. We have a lot of neutral court games in college basketball, and I want to see some of these games on home courts in hostile environments. Home and homes, I think, are great when you get two good programs together to get to play each other, and they shouldn't just be conference games.
Yeah, I want to ask you about one other thing, and I don't want to say it's a trend, but the Northwestern thing, how that blew up on Pat Fitzgerald, and then
it's a whole athletic department now. It's softball, it's volleyball. The baseball coach got fired. I mean, I don't think what's going on in each sport is related to each other, but they've got stuff going on in at least 4 different sports.
Well, and then you have the student athletes in Minnesota kind of coming out against PJ Fleck yesterday, and it's I don't know if this is going to be a trend. I don't know if any of these rituals, and I'm not in the locker rooms. I have no idea what's hazing, what's not hazing, what's going on. But there's a lot of this lately. I mean, what was it, New Mexico State in basketball last year? I don't know. That's your world right there. The Northwestern thing just seems incredibly extreme and problematic there, and I don't know how they're going to get their arms around it.
It's unbelievable. And if you've told me, like back in December, that there was going to be a major hazing scandal in the Big Ten and asked me to guess which team, Northwestern would have been my 14th guess.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten there. If you have read the details, I'm sorry, because they're very difficult to read. But it could not have ended any other way, except for Pat Fitzgerald getting fired. Whether he supposedly knew or not, first of all, I don't think you couldn't know, but for sure you had to know. That's your job, is to know. You're the CFO, you're the CEO of this program. In fact, he liked to call himself the CEO of the program. So you just can't say, I didn't know.
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing every time these come down. Coaches who love to have control of everything, who know everything, who know where the players are, whenever there's something like this, well, I didn't know. How would I know about this? And it's like, look.
How could you not know? I can't even imagine any scenario in which he didn't know.
Well, it's coming down.
Now the latest thing is that some of the assistant coaches may actually have been hazed as well.
Yeah. Well, and that was the New Mexico State thing too. They were saying that might have happened. Yeah, there too. It's I don't know. Look, athletics has a culture of initiations and whatever it is. I don't know how you're going to get it out completely. But man, oh man, you're seeing some of this stuff. Like it's bringing down a lot of people with really. I mean, who had a better reputation than Pat Fitzgerald? Who was cleaner than him?
He was Mr. Northwestern.
That's right.
And he was there 17 years. You've got a president who came from Oregon, who's been there 9 months, an athletic director who's been there 2 years. And so he's the guy. And
well, supposedly it dates back to when he played. The report the other day was these whole things go back to when he was a player there. So
they may have started then, but they increased in intensity and disgustingness as time went on. They probably were not like what you read in the paper when Pat Fitzgerald played.
Who would have thought you'd start Big Ten football without Pat Fitzgerald, without Jim Harbaugh? That's not going to happen. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. KDQ.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about. We drop.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about. We drop into the middle of firefight.
Local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, was just with us. And by the way, if you missed any of these interviews, any of these conversations, whether it was Logan Taylor from Hawaii or any of the conversations, and you're going, just the numbers tell us you're really enjoying the podcast, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. Go wherever it is you get your podcast. Go to sportsanimalabq.com and click on the opening drive, and you can hear these conversations. Obviously, you're enjoying them. The numbers say.
You said, how do the other schools feel that are not mentioned?
Yeah.
You're sitting there going, go to the Big Ten.
Yeah, I hope you
go
fall
to the
apart.
Big Ten.
Yeah.
Because then that opens the door for something like a super conference in the West.
Or a big conference. I mean, yeah. A large it's hard for me to say super.
I guess I'm just using the word super as in size.
Size, yeah. It'll be muy grande. Pero
mucho.
It's yes. All right, USA won, Netherlands won in International World Cup Women's Soccer. What does that mean? We're going to play that game. It's yours the rest of the way if you want to get in. I've got a couple of texts. You're taking calls today. The 9 o'clock hours is for you at 505-246-0610. We're going to get into the Shohei Ohtani thing. Right move, wrong move by the Angels to not move Ohtani. They have said he's off the market, and we are buying. Best player since Babe Ruth. What does it mean? We're going to get into that next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-82...
He said, go try to win.
Yes.
Win right now. And it's something that gets lost in these conversations. It gets lost when people all of a sudden care so much about first-round picks 10 years from now, or how much a player is affecting the salary cap. Now, that has different trickle-down effects in terms of roster building, but as a fan, what do you want at the end of the day? Do you care about if your team has a first-round pick in 2032?
None of you are going to be around then.
Yeah, or do you want to watch the team that you support try to win? And that's what the Angels are doing right now with Shohei Ohtani, is they're trying to win. Who cares if you ask, call up the New York Yankees, and if you know that in the back of Shohei's mind, he lets you know, he's like, I think that's where I'm signing in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
You call the Yankees, and we'll be like, all right, give us your top 10 prospects. One of them might actually be a good baseball player.
Maybe.
And is that worth it, or going on a run and at least having the rest of the year with the best baseball player ever going to see on your roster?
And if you get to the playoffs, does it give them a taste that, hey, this is really cool and look what we can do and I want to stay?
Like, we're investing in you. We're investing in winning. It can happen here. That's the right decision.
Look, you hit the damn lottery getting him anyway. Yeah. Right?
He signed with you in the first place.
That's right. So the Angels went out and got pitching yesterday. They need pitching. They called the White Sox, and they got Lucas Giolito, a right-handed starter. They got a reliever in Reynaldo Lopez. They traded away 2 prospects yesterday. They have to climb over 3 teams. See where they go. Let's see where they go. But this was the right move. This was the right move. It may end up being the wrong move. Like, it could end up being the wrong move. But in the immediate, as we sit here, like, and you may call me in 7 weeks, 10 weeks in December when he signs with the Yankees, with the Dodgers, with whoever says, told you they should, and you'll, okay, you're right. But it's really easy to tell you what the right move when it was all said and done. And if some of you were saying, dude, I would trade him right now, I get it. I would not do that, but I get it. And you might end up being right. This is one of those where there is risk both ways, huge risk both ways. And I can 100% see, as we sit here at the winter meetings in free agency, and breaking news, and there's Buster Olney on my TV, or what's the dude's name that was in town, short guy, not Gammons.
Well, Jeff Passon's out there.
No, the guy who spoke when Ray Birmingham was the short guy.
Very memorable guy.
Come on, man, he's everywhere. Anyway.
Tim Kirkjian?
Thank you. Tim Kirkjian's going, well, Shohei Ohtani is signed with the Yankees for $800 zillion, okay. Right? And I'll sit here and go, well, they made the wrong move.
They didn't, though. Even
you don't think they did at that point? Okay.
I got to give it a try. You do what you can.
Look, I would do it this way, too. But for those of you saying they're not making the playoffs.
Look at how many of these trades were like, oh, you got the top prospects back. Those guys never even make it to the major leagues.
I know.
I just have 4 words: curse of the Bambino. If they get rid of him, man, it's on that level.
No, they're kind of curse of the halo right now, anyway. But I've got a theory about the second-tier teams in Southern California: the Angels, the Clippers, the Ducks. Although the Ducks have won, the Stanley Cup, and the Chargers. Now the Chargers should be in San Diego. When the Chargers go back to San Diego, they can win. But honestly, think of the history of the Angels. The Ducks have their run, and whatever. Did anybody ever? Do you ever remember one thing about the Ducks winning the Cup?
I remember more about the movie than I do their
100%. Right. Clippers. What do you know about the Clippers? That they've never made the conference finals in the history of their franchise. Is there more? I mean, honestly, in the last 50 years, they are the worst sports franchise in our 4 major sports. So, no, I think it was the right move. I think may it end up being the wrong result. Yeah, it might. But I think this was the right move. I want to hit something else that happened yesterday. And if you want to, I got a bunch of texts and emails on college stuff and on Jerry Palm. It says, great hearing from Smooth Jerry again. Jeff, surprised you didn't have him on the anniversary show. Has he ever hoed? That's a really good point. That's a really good point. But we're kind of booked tomorrow.
Pretty loaded.
Yeah, we're kind of booked tomorrow. USA Netherlands. You needed a goal by the USA's Lindsey Horan to equalize yesterday. How big of a disappointment? Now, Netherlands, I want you to understand, Netherlands isn't Vietnam. Netherlands, didn't they win? Netherlands was going to be their biggest competition, certainly in this pool, right? But as far as, USA winning again and going through this, and now neither team has clinched a spot in the knockout round with one game to go in pool play, how significant a result is yesterday for USA women at the World Cup?
Getting the draw was big because the first half, Netherlands outplayed them.
And then they dominated.
For 50 minutes.
Yeah, and
then there was
second half.
a time in 5 minutes into the second half where the U.S. pressure took over and they controlled possession. They were getting chances, but the touch in the final third is not there. And this is what was to be expected. You have two new players playing up top with Alex Morgan, the stud striker for the United States. You have Trinity Rodman and Sophia Smith,
who had a beautiful look late in the match,
that are
Trinity Rodman
taking over up top. You have a new midfield. And so you're seeing some of the warts in the process for the United States as they transition to a new era of who the U.S. women's national team is. That first half, Netherlands was fantastic. And you know why the game changed in the second half?
No.
Netherlands' best defender got hurt. So that sub her out of the game. And then you saw the United States able to take over. But they're a little off. The touch in the final third, I think the game plan was wrong. I think they were playing too long and too fast. The Netherlands were able to compact, take away that central channel, take everything away. And you have to let these young players get experience. And so I think ultimately it was the right move in the moment. I wanted to see them make a move. I thought Rodman should have came off. I thought she was doing too much. Actually, like a little
she almost scored the winner
over her skis, but she got that 90+ minutes of experience, as you said, almost got the winner. So I think that was a good coaching move, just saying, hey, this is a tough game. We need to let these young players go a full 90.
Do you watch it in English or in Spanish? Just out of curiosity.
I watch it in English.
I don't have that option, so I watch it in Spanish.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Like I literally don't have I forgot it was on. I saw it on the Twitter. Oh, yeah. I caught it about the 60-something minute. And my daughter's like, Dad, why are we watching this? So I understand a few words here and there. And so I have to actually watch the game and interpret it for myself, which is good for me, by the way. Really good for me. And by the way, the guy who calls the games in Spanish is terrific.
Oh, of course.
Like there's something about it. It just makes me feel like it's a bigger match. But yeah, I don't have the option because of Nextstar's battle with which you think it'll end by the time football season starts?
Well,
Nextstar and DirecTV. I mean, I got no Fox. I've got no.
You're gonna miss out on Colorado TCU.
Seriously,
Deion Sanders.
Like I've got problems. But yeah, I don't have the option to watch it in English because it's on Fox. Joseph, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Joseph.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. What's happening?
So I was, if I'm the owner or the manager or the
Angels?
owner of the Angels, I would want to get something in return for Ohtani right now, because if you guys wait until the end of the season, you're not going to get anything for him. And if you guys trade for him right now, they will get so much more in return, in my opinion.
Yeah. And you're not alone in your opinion. And Joseph, thanks for the call. You're not alone in that opinion, right? And that's what I told you. I hear it. I actually understand it. I wouldn't do it. I would try to win now. But I understand. And look, he might be right. When we sit here, when it's all said and done, we can say, remember when Joseph called and said he would have made the trade and got a bunch
Even
back.
if he leaves, you're still. It's better to finish season with him and your fans actually caring than if you trade him right now.
And
those fans are not coming back for a long time. If he happens to leave in free agency, at least you had the moment.
Did you see any?
And you went on a run at the end of the season with some hope. But if you trade him right now, two people are showing up.
What did potential packages look like? Have you seen any proposed trades?
And if you're trading for Ohtani, you have to already know that we are going to sign
You're renting him. Well, yeah. Otherwise,
because then you're like, oh, well, if we're trading for Ohtani, why would we trade 2 stars on our team plus a bunch of prospects. What does that do for us?
Well, but then you're not getting him because if the Angel City's on the market, it's a bidding war, right? Mm-hmm. It's a bidding war, and the Angel, like Joseph's not wrong. You would have got a haul. Now, how big of a haul? I mean, it would have been limited, but you'd have gotten some all-stars, some prospects.
But would you have?
Well,
honestly,
yeah, because
but if you're getting Shohei Ohtani and you're giving up multiple all-stars in your prospects, then how good is your baseball team?
Maybe really good. I don't know. I mean, it depends who you are, right? But you're right.
So what? So the Yankees like, oh, we want Aaron Judge in your top prospects. Yeah. And they're like, well, okay, then.
Yeah, then never mind.
But that's the asking price.
No, you're right. Would the Padres be able to do something? Or are the Padres too far out? Right? No, I understand where he's going. I do. I wouldn't have done it that way, but I understand where he's going. Aaron, you're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Aaron.
This reminds me of the exact same conversation they were having in Washington back in 2018 with Bryce Harper.
Yeah, 100%.
Exact same thing. They got nothing back for Harper, and they won the World Series the next year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think it's as cut and dry as your co-host there thinks it is. I mean, if they would have gotten something back for Bryce Harper, they probably still win the World Series, and they're not in the cellar right now. So it's a very, very tough decision. I understand it, but you have to be very, very confident that you think you can make up the run. And I don't think the Angels have the roster, if you take a look at it, to make the run, especially with Trout being hurt. Yeah. I mean, baseball is the ultimate team sport, and as good as Shohei Ohtani is, he can't carry that whole team. There's just no way.
That's why they went out and got some pitching yesterday. Aaron, appreciate the call. Thank you. That's why he's not wrong. Their roster, as currently constructed, is not ready to make a run. They've got 4 days to go out and try to find some pieces to make a run, and Trout's out, and probably out for a while.
But it's also, I'm looking at it too. If I'm the owner of the Angels, and we know one player in baseball doesn't do anything. Like they would have won at least a series by now if that one player mattered, because Mike Trout has been as good as anyone in baseball when he's on the field. And we know that that's not the way the game is made. But right now, you're buying tickets because you want to see Shohei Ohtani.
I think that's right.
Like, that's also a piece of, even if I know he's not coming back, trading him now for prospects, that empties that venue the rest of the season. And for prospects that are just unknown. And he just made the point of Washington not trading Bryce Harper. They go and win, and I don't think they're in a cellar because they didn't get prospects for a Bryce Harper trade. Like Steven Strasburg fell apart and can't pitch again, and Max Scherzer moves on.
And Steven Strasburg was about as can't miss as you could have had, right? All right, when we come back, a little NFL stuff. How do you renegotiate? DC looked up the Harvard law professor's way to renegotiate a bad deal. If you're the running backs, if you're the NFLPA and you want to renegotiate this CBA, which I don't believe will happen, and the Broncos' new coach comes out and casts some shade on last year's embarrassing team and organization. What the new coach said about the old coach, it's next. It's the opening drive. You got some dirt in Denver land on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Sports last year. Okay, I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah, it was a show last year.
Sean Payton did an interview with USA Today. Sean Payton's your new head coach. And he said, quote, "It might have been one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of the National Football League." End quote. He took off on Nathaniel Hackett, your coach from last year, and said that what Nathaniel Hackett did last year, he was referring specifically to last year's. Dude, coaches don't ever, you never heard a coach say anything about another team other than they're a well-coached team. Have you ever heard, like, every week, every coach you talk to, well, they're really well coached. I don't care what the sport is, right? Yes. How many coaches have we talked to in the 3,850 shows that we've done? Right? 3,000 of them? And every week they say, oh, they're really well coached. He's a good coach. He's doing a great job.
Coach him hard, to play hard.
Coaches do not talk bleep about other coaches, right? Peyton went off on the previous regime. On Nathaniel Hackett, might have been one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of the NFL.
Yes.
I
saw it, man. If people thought it was crazy after one game that Tuesday morning to come back and say, that dude ain't it. But we all saw it. And sometimes you just know. And after that Monday night game, we all knew.
He said, it doesn't, this is Sean Payton in USA Today. It doesn't happen often where an NFL team or organization gets embarrassed. And that happened here. Part of it was their own fault relative to spending so much bleep time trying to win the offseason. The PR, the pomp and circumstance, marching people around and all this stuff. We're not doing any of that. And then he goes off on the Jets. He said, let's continue the quote. The Jets did that this year. You watch Hard Knocks, all of it. I can see it coming. Remember when Dan Snyder put that dream team together? I was at the Giants in 2000. I was a young coach. I thought, how are we going to compete with them? Dion's there now. That team won 8 games or whatever. So listen, just put in the work, end quote. Your boy's breathing some fire right now.
Hyping up that Week 5 matchup.
With the Jets?
With the Jets.
Was it Week 3 or Week 5? Week 5, yeah, Week 5, right after that. Yeah, after the first 4. Yeah. So Peyton is calling his shots, basically saying the Jets have put way too much on the PR side. Now, look, they got Aaron Rodgers. They added Allen
Lazard. It's a random shot.
But it is kind of a random shot, right? And they're relatively
he's
similar.
Comparing it to what Denver did then, though, when you think about it, is, we're just a quarterback away.
No.
But Aaron Rodgers was the dude that Denver wanted.
You mean he's not Russell Wilson?
That's the only reason Nathaniel Hackett was hired as head coach of the Broncos.
That's right. I think that's right. Would you say that the Jets and the Broncos are similar? Both really good defenses. Veteran quarterbacks on offense. Both of those quarterbacks have won a Super Bowl at the previous stop. They were traded away. I mean, they were relatively similar, right? You know, you're going to tell me that there's way better weapons on the Jets, that their veteran quarterback is way better, and you're not wrong. But it's not like Sean Payton's the first guy to tell me that the Jets are overhyped. They play Week 5. I can't recall the last time a coach came out and lambasted another coach in the NFL. Now, we just had it with Dion and Oklahoma's Venable. And now they're going to be in the same league, which is going to be good, by the way. Right? That happened the other day. They're not? Oh, yeah, that's right. Oklahoma's leaving. Sorry. They're not going to overlap. Sorry. I thought there was going to be a year, but they're not. When was the last time you heard an NFL coach rip another coaching job? Like, it doesn't happen.
Like on the job.
It doesn't happen, right?
Doesn't.
And he just said we got embarrassed. It might have been one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of the National Football League. And the crazy part is he's not wrong. There's like nobody who is trying to tell him he's wrong. You like it? Him being your coach now. You guys like that? You like your coach being that outrageous? Or maybe outrageous isn't the word. You like him spitting the truth?
How this is not appropriate conversation for an NFL coach.
Look at you, Mr. Irsay. Yeah.
My thing with it always comes down to, if you're going to dish it, then you got to be able to handle it.
And he's going to take it because someone's coming back at him.
Yeah.
The Jets will come back at him. Aaron Rodgers will come back at him. Nathaniel Hackett isn't going to say squat.
No. And Sean Payton feels like a dude that he can handle it. That's why he's talking like this. He ain't afraid of anyone. He ain't worried about his position right now in Denver.
No.
Because he's the savior. He can do no wrong right now. He's the one that's going to be there longer than Russell Wilson, even if it goes bad this year.
All right, when we come back, more NFL. And maybe we'll talk more about the Jets. That Pro Bowl running back that I was telling you about, the Jets just cleared some cap space. There's a jet flying to the New York, New Jersey general area to take a visit today. What that might mean? He, I don't know, still one of the best running backs in the league. He could land with Gang Green. That's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, addition.
Be on the patio tomorrow morning doing the show live from 7 to 10. Go out, play a little golf after that. 15 years ago tomorrow, we started this show. 15 years ago, Milt McConnell said, all right, you want to do the show? I said, all right, well, got some other things going. I got, some time I got to take off. And he looked at me, said, all right, you want the job? I said, yes, sir. And here we are. Milt
Look what
McConnell,
you've done.
our former general manager and guru here. So, yeah, come on out and say hello. We'll be at Hooters tomorrow afternoon as well, celebrating with the afternoon show. And really looking forward to that. All right, so where will Dalvin Cook land? ESPN is reporting that Dalvin Cook is getting on a plane for a weekend visit to the New York Jets. Now, that doesn't mean he's going there. People still seem to think his hometown is the number one probability of where he's going to be. But the Jets just cleared a whole lot of cap space. A whole lot of cap space with the Aaron Rodgers move. And could they be looking to bring in Dalvin Cook? I think that would make them the second best team in the division. Right now, I'm like, well, Buffalo's best, and I'm not sure who I think is better, Miami or the Jets. I think that would put them over the top. Lenny, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Lenny.
Morning. How you doing? Good. Well, you saw my text to you this morning, and with the move they did, first I'll commend Aaron Rodgers for giving up $35 million in guaranteed money.
Okay.
And then his signing bonus, roster bonus of this year, they had 2 phantom years to the contract, so it lowers it at the end of the deal, which is fine. But the Jets have a top 7 defense, in my opinion. Their offense is going to be hurting a little bit because Breece Hall, who was on his way to possibly winning Rookie of the Year last year, is coming off of ACL surgery. Right. When the season begins, he's only 10 months removed.
Yeah.
That's not easy. So now you look at what they have behind him. Not impressed that much with Michael Carter. I'm not impressed with the guy they picked up from Pittsburgh, University of Pitt in the 5th round. You know, they make a big deal about how fast he is and how his vertical leap was. That doesn't mean anything if you can't hit the holes correctly.
Agree with
and carry.
Yeah,
so
we'll see.
Dalvin Cook
go ahead.
Gives him a chance to put Breece Hall, not rush him back, give him less carries, work his way back in, but then you have a nice 2-headed monster for the rest of the running to go along with all of your receivers. And a much better quarterback than what you had. And Miami had their chance all off season to sign Cook. Why didn't they?
I can't agree with you more. It's another one of those things. The longer you go, the more it's like Colorado, right?
Now, is he going to use the Jets as leverage for Miami to kick in more money?
Maybe.
But how many times do you see a team bring in a player and he never leaves?
Often, and you're going to get Aaron Rodgers on him, and you're going to get the two of them out to dinner, and he's going to come in the room, and they're going to, if they want him, they're going to make the full court press on him, and he might sign by the end of the weekend.
Right, and if he does go to Miami then wins the division. With all the offensive weapons they have, if Tua can stay healthy and stay on the trajectory he was on last year, no concussions and everything, they got a top 5 offense easily.
So you think they'd be better than the Bills?
Yes.
Okay, we'll see. All right, man. No, that's good.
And that's the other thing. Are the Jets going to let Dalvin Cook leave with the possible chance of him to go play with his brother in Buffalo?
Well, I think they're going to do everything they can to not let him leave. I mean, right? And it feels like they've cleared the cap space with this in mind. Yesterday, they clear the space. Tomorrow, they're bringing in Dalvin Cook. Obviously, there's a plan here. Yeah. If they want him, they're going to make a full court press.
And then lastly is whoever the agent is for Barkley, I don't know what you think you got out of the extra $900,000 you tried to finagle out of it, but everything he has to do to make that money on numbers he's never did before.
That's right. No, that's right. All the incentives he's never reached. Look, he's been hurt a lot. I know, but nobody's having any conversation.
But you brought in 3 new receivers. You brought in Darren Waller.
Yeah.
You don't need Barkley running 295 times again.
I agree with that 1,000%, just to get him paid.
Then how is he going to hit 1,350 yards when he got 1,312 last year? How is he going to hit those touchdown numbers that he never hit before?
Look, 85 yards a game gets you there. And let's be, with all due respect, 85 yards a game is not a lot to average over 17 games. Actually, it's less than that. It's 75 yards times 17. All right, so it's 80 yards a game times 17. It gets
it's not hard to get to, but you got in better receiver. Daniel Jones was stronger than nobody last year.
That's fine. Yeah, they're better.
Now you got better receivers.
Yeah.
So now he either cut down Daniel Jones' running and give it more to Barkley, but still I can't see him hitting those metrics. I see an easier time for Geno Smith to hit the numbers for him to get all of his bonuses, because everything they making him do this year is this basically repeating what he did last year.
Yeah. No, Lenny, I gotta move, but I appreciate the call. Thank you for that, because I think his points are really good. 1,360 yards or whatever it is, that's 80 yards a game. I don't want to beat the hell out of this guy, but he's going to have a couple of 120-yard games. He's going to have a couple of 60-yard games, right? I don't know if he plays 17 or 16 games. That doesn't seem like a hard number to hit a bonus, does it? Am I wearing him down to get there? He's my number one running back. That's what I'm paying him to do, right?
Exactly. That's what you're paying him to do. Rome broke this down pretty well a couple days ago, and it is an interesting deal he signed, because in the end he was guaranteed that 10.1. Now he is not, and he has all of these bonuses he can supposedly attain. But in the end, it almost seems like he took less in a lot of ways than he did if he would have signed the franchise tag.
Yeah. All right. 505-246-0610. The Sports Animal is here for you. Big birthday bash tomorrow. If you want to come out, we'd love to have you. You brought this to me earlier, DC, and I haven't gone through the whole thing. But we've been having this conversation about running backs, and for whom is this a problem? And I will contend that it's simply for running backs. All right, so tell me the Harvard Law connection here and what this is all about, because you said what leads to renegotiations. And JJ told me that the current collective bargaining agreement runs through 2030. So I see no reason the owners would go back to the table.
Not the owners, yeah, unless they're forced.
So they got to both go back to the table.
Right, and because they have a deal, they have the leverage to say, we've made a deal in good faith. You guys signed it, we signed it. Makes sense. But I think the running backs are basically going to say they didn't totally understand the deal. And that's one of the things that Harvard points out as a major point for renegotiation is if there is some kind of lopsided nature to the deal or some misunderstanding that they can prove existed.
So that would be the change in circumstances piece?
I believe so, because if you look at it, I mean, it has changed. The running back position is different now than it was 3 years ago or whenever they signed that.
Is the running back position different, or is it the compensation for the running back position different? You would argue, okay, so I'll argue the other side, even though I'm not sure I buy it. If I'm arguing for renegotiation, I would argue that the structure or the philosophy beyond that position has made it so this position is at a disadvantage, meaning the owners have made it clear. They have stated, and is that they have stated, GMs publicly, that, yeah, I just draft a running back, run him for 4 years, franchise tag him, let him go get another one, right? And so they have basically said, we've devalued this particular position. Is that why it's different? Is that where you're going?
I think that's the argument they make, saying that when we originally signed it, we didn't think the franchise tag would be almost exclusively for running backs.
Because the thought was it was going to be for quarterbacks.
Correct.
And quarterbacks would get paid at $40 million plus a year on their 1 year tag. Okay. I'm an owner, and I'm going, yeah, so?
And I am too. As an owner, we made a deal. We're holding up our part. You got to do yours.
I got one group of players. I don't hear linebackers complaining. I don't hear defensive ends complaining. I sure as hell don't hear quarterbacks complaining. Wide receivers aren't complaining. I got one group of disgruntled players. With all due respect, and I feel for you, and I'm sorry that you can only make $10.1 million a year, I'm not renegotiating the deal.
And
give me a reason to.
That's a very fair point. I mean, they signed it in good faith. Irsay said it himself. That is a big deal. They spent years putting this together.
Yeah, JJ, I would agree with you when you had contention with the word irresponsible, right? Was that the word that Robert Irsay used? Yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't blame running backs for being vocal, right? I mean, they're fighting for their right. If nobody's going to stick up for you, then you've got to stick up for you, right? It's like nobody's going to take care of you but you. I get it. I just don't see a resolution to a problem because it's only their problem. I don't see a resolution to this that works out in their favor.
Not for the next 7 years.
And then what?
And then you could ask to change the rookie scale for a running back.
Okay.
Because everyone else
That's fair.
that's there, and it could change rookies for all of them if they wanted to. Because right now, your first round pick, you get good guaranteed money. Because highest paid running back on a yearly basis right now, the dude that's never had a carry in the NFL. It's Bijan Robinson. So they're getting
crazy.
They're getting compensated.
Okay.
But that's only if you're a first round pick. But still, if you're Bijan Robinson, there's a chance that
How many running backs were the first round? One?
you go 7 years before you get a chance to negotiate a contract.
One running back got picked the first round, right?
Yeah.
One. Because they're devalued. Because I can find one in the fourth round that's going to do what I need him to do. Because it's been proven. Bijan Robinson may be really good. He may be the new Saquon, the new Jonathan Taylor, the new Derrick Henry.
So that's running backs feel that their value is depressed right now. That's a guarantee. And are you wanting to take away guarantees as a young player because a lot of those guys aren't getting to that?
Okay, so let me explain something to you. In a salary cap league, if you give more to the running backs, from whom are you taking that money? You have to take it from someone. That means your receivers are making less. That means your defensive tackles are making. Who's making less? If you're giving more to the running back, you've got to take it from somewhere, don't you?
Your quarterback.
That's why I don't hear anybody else or a whole lot of people going, yeah, give them their. Oh wait, you're going to take it from me? It's got to come from somewhere. All right, if you're on the phone, stay there. Coming to you when we come back. Also, I asked you how similar are the Jets, the Broncos. How similar do you think Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers are? A bit more similar than you think. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Aaron Rodgers versus Russell Wilson. You're going to be amazed at how not dissimilar they are. It's the opening drive, 505-246-0610. Thanks for being with us on The Sports Animal this morning. Adolph, good morning. You're on The Sports Animal. Hello.
Hey, yeah, thanks for taking my call. Just so I understand here, so the running backs are basically saying that they want to renegotiate the agreement, the contract between the owners and the players, because the franchise tag, at least from their understanding, was supposed to be applied
mostly to quarterback
of the time to quarterback.
Yeah,
is that right?
That's kind of what I'm hearing. Yeah, and
okay.
that somehow they're now disadvantaged because ownership and GMs have found a way to use it to ownership's advantage and to the disadvantage of keeping the salary down on running backs.
Okay, and so they want the court to step in to.
I don't think they want the court to step in. No, I think they want to renegotiate the deal. I think they want go back.
Well, this is all just assuming. They've never said that they're going to try to do this.
Okay.
Right
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, just looking at this from a contractual and agreement point of view, it's like, hey, y'all signed the contract.
That's right.
It met the 5 requirements, if you will, of an agreement. And just because y'all's perception of how the salary franchise tag was supposed to be used, just because your perception has changed, does not necessarily change the elements of said contract and the agreement itself. So I can't see, it appears to me that they're basically blowing smoke in the hopes that they can force the ownership to renegotiate. But that's probably going to be an issue that needs to be taken up at the expiration of this particular agreement. Anyway, thanks, fellas. I'm out.
No, thanks. And I think that's kind of how we all see it. He's got it from a legal point of view. All right, I asked you earlier, do you think the Broncos and the Jets are somewhat similar? Good defenses, veteran quarterbacks who won Super Bowls at their last stop, got traded, and I know there was a snicker. DC just pulled out the comparison of Aaron Rodgers to Russell Wilson. Now, Aaron Rodgers had played 57 more games than Russell Wilson, so the numbers are skewed. But like completion percentage is about the same, 65.3 for Rodgers, 64.6 to Wilson. Touchdown percentage, 6.2 to 5.9. Yards per completion, Russell Wilson's got more. I would never have thought that. Never have thought that. 12 yards per completion, 11.8 for Russell Wilson. Passing yards per game, 234 for Wilson, 256 for Rodgers. So that's different. Touchdown, I already gave you that. Interception percentage, Russell Wilson at 1.9, Rodgers at 1.4. They are so similar, DC.
When I pulled that up, it was shocking. I kind of assumed that Aaron Rodgers would have a fairly significant statistical advantage,
Right.
but yeah, they are so similar. It definitely raised my eyebrow.
Rodgers quarterback rating 103.9. I've never understood quarterback rating. I never will. Russell Wilson 101.7. That's right. 101.7 FM. Smooth jazz. It's insanely similar. Insanely similar. All right, here's what you need to know as you go through your day. A, I think we found our foursome for golf tomorrow. B, our 15th anniversary show is tomorrow morning out live at the San Diego Golf Club. We'll be on the patio. Come by, say hello. We'll have breakfast specials. Got, I think, a pretty good guest list for you tomorrow. We'll also be at Hooters tomorrow afternoon. If you can't get by tomorrow morning at San Diego Golf Club, we'll be at Hooters with the afternoon show at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So come by and celebrate 15 years. We've done a lot of radio in 15 years. 3,850 shows, I believe, is the number. That's a lot of radio, dude.
A lot of time on the air.
Started out as a 2-hour show. I think about 3 years in, went to a 3-hour show, right? Right about, it's been 3 hours, I think, the whole time you've been on. But yeah, it's a lot of radio, a lot of bloviating, a lot of, can't believe they still let us do this. So come out, and then you're going to come out and play golf afterwards? You're going to make it out there?
I will be there.
He's going to be out there with us.
You're on. So who's back here?
With Ghost.
Okay.
We might not even be on the air.
What do I know? What do I know? All right. Well, that's kind of cool. All right. Lobo Hobo got in today. Am I opening this can of worms? Reply to a caller yesterday, Jeff, who said we don't need a new arena, that we should just keep pouring money into renovating University Arena. I don't want another dime wasted on that old dump. I want a new state-of-the-art facility. I think most people, not everybody, I do believe most people feel that way. But I was told I'm an idiot and that it's my, what did he say? It was I'm pushing my agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't really have a dog in that fight other than I think it would be good for our community. That's my dog in the fight. All right. So tomorrow's guest list, you ready? As of now, Hal Mummey, the former Aggie coach, is going to be with us at 7:30. Looking forward to that. It's been a minute. Richard Pitino, scheduled to stop by at 8 o'clock. Nick Nee will be live at 9 o'clock. Did I miss 8:30 tomorrow? I'll work on that. Mario Mocha, the New Mexico State Athletic Director, at 9:15. John Traub, the General Manager of the Isotopes, at 9:30. And, look at that. I just got a Skip Lacombe text. And, damn, 15 years, I'll try to make it to one of them.
There we go.
Original on the original T-shirt. Joe Gonzalez will be out at Hooters tomorrow afternoon. Michael Land's going to be at Hooters tomorrow afternoon. Hoser and Micah both out in the morning.
That's all the sausage.
Yeah. All these
goes
former
into the
producers.
sausage.
Dude, we've had a lot of former producers. And you're going to be out there, and you get to meet all these people, all your predecessors.
So there's a chance of coming on Monday.
Yeah.
And DC's like, I'm not working with these guys anymore.
Yeah, I'm done.
After the stories that I heard.
Yeah. I'm done with you,
We got a new producer.
Yeah. That might happen, too. I hope not, though, man. He's really good. All right. What are people going to be talking about today? PJ Fleck called the allegations against him at Minnesota baseless this morning. Sean Payton, the head coach of the Broncos, called last year's coaching job an embarrassment, maybe the biggest embarrassment in the history of the NFL. USA and Netherlands played to a 1-1 draw in the Women's World Cup yesterday, and Shohei Ohtani is not on the market by the Angels. And Colorado leaving the Pac-12, going to the Big 12. I got to believe there's going to be some more, like something today, dude. Don't you think there's going to be more meat on the bone on that today?
I'm kind of here for the chaos. I'm
think,
ready for it.
Yeah, no, I think
go
it
see
happens.
what happens if something happens with Oregon and Washington, and then who knows?
Yeah, I think people are getting restless. All right, thanks to Jerry Palm, CBS Sports. He was with us today, as was Logan Taylor. If you missed any of that, it's available wherever you get a podcast. Go ahead and listen to that. Appreciate you doing that. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4, and then it's Isotopes and Sacramento after that. We're live at San Diego Golf Club tomorrow. Look forward to seeing you out there. Adrian, great work. DC, terrific job as always. Big day for you.
Huge day.
All right, enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio at 7 a.m. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making